Let's be honest, you've probably had a brilliant idea for an app at some point, but then you hit that first big wall. How do you actually get it into the hands of everyone? Well, in this explainer, we're going to talk about exactly that. It always starts with that little spark, right? That what if moment when you dream up an app that could be a huge hit. You can almost see it on your phone screen, people using it and loving it. It's an awesome feeling. And then reality sets in. Ugh. You quickly realize that building for iPhone users and building for Android users are two totally different projects. That means two code bases, maybe even two separate teams. We're talking double the cost, double the development time, and just double the headaches. For a lot of great ideas, this is where the story ends. But what if I told you there was a way to sidestep all of that drama? A way to build your app just once and have it run perfectly on both iOS and Android? Well, there is, and that's exactly what we're diving into. So yeah, this is the dilemma pretty much every app creator faces. You want to reach the whole world, but building two separate native apps from scratch is a massive investment of time and money, especially if you're a startup or a small business just getting off the ground. So what's the secret weapon here? Well, it's something called a hybrid app. And honestly, it's a total game changer. So what is it? Simply put, hybrid development is a clever mix of web technology and native app shells. You write your code one time, using familiar web languages, by the way, and that single code base works on both platforms. Just think about that for a second. One team, one set of code for both Apple's App Store and the Google Play Store. Pretty cool, right? You know, a really great analogy is to think of it like a universal translator. You write your app's instructions in one language, and the hybrid framework translates it on the fly so that both iOS and Android understand it perfectly. The end result? A smooth, consistent experience for all your users, no matter what phone they're using. Okay, so to really appreciate what makes hybrids so powerful, we need to put it head-to-head with the traditional way of doing things, which is called native development. Let's see how they stack up. This chart lays it all out beautifully. So look at that first line. Hybrid's got that single code base. And what does that mean for you? Well, it flows right into the next 2 points. It's way more cost-effective, and you can get to market so much faster. Native, on the other hand, means separate code bases, higher costs, and a slower launch. Now let's talk performance. Native is the undisputed king here. It's going to give you the absolute smoothest, fastest experience possible. But hybrid delivers what we call near-native performance, which, for most apps, is so good your users will never, ever notice a difference. And what about using the phone's hardware, like the camera? Well, native has direct access, while hybrid uses these clever little things called plugins to connect to them. It's a really smart trade-off that makes it all work. All right, now that we've seen the side-by-side, let's zoom in on the specific advantages that are making so many businesses choose the hybrid route. Let's start with the one everyone cares about: money. Because you're reusing that same code across both platforms, you could see your development costs drop by up to 40%. For a startup, that's not just a nice saving, that is absolutely massive. That could be the difference between launching and never getting your idea off the ground. And it's not just about the budget, it's about speed. As you can see here, the time it takes to get from idea to launch is just so much lower with a hybrid app. In a crowded market, being first can be everything. So really, it all boils down to this amazing trifecta of benefits. Number one, you launch faster, getting your app in front of the widest audience possible, right from day one. Number two, maintenance is a breeze. If you find a bug, you fix it once and it's fixed for everybody. And number three, you guarantee that every single user gets the same great, consistent experience, no matter what kind of phone is in their pocket. Okay, so we've covered what hybrid is and why it's so great. But now for the million-dollar question. Is a hybrid app the right call for your project? Let's figure that out. This breaks it down perfectly. You're going to want to go hybrid if you're building what's called a minimum viable product, or an MVP, to just test your idea out. It's also fantastic for apps that are all about showing content, like a newsfeed or a blog. And, of course, if you're on a tight budget and need to launch fast, hybrid is your best friend. Now, on the flip side, you should absolutely go native if your app is, say, a super high-performance game with intense graphics, or an augmented reality experience, or anything that needs to push the phone's hardware to its absolute limits. So to wrap it all up, this isn't about picking the cheaper option. It's about making a strategic one. If your main goal is to get your idea out into the world fast, whether it's an MVP, an online store, a simple tool for your company, or a content platform, then hybrid is almost certainly the smartest path forward. So the next time you get that flash of inspiration for a new app, the question isn't just, can I build this? The question becomes, can I build this once for everyone? And with hybrid development, the answer, more often than not, is a huge yes.